Hi, welcome to Design It with Tammy Gibbs. I'm Tammy, and today we're going to be working in Artistly 5, and we are going to be exploring the AI Artist Playbook, the Journal Edition, as well as some version 5 workflow type things. We're also going to delve into Canva, and I'm going to show you how you can speed up your journal and your other items to go with journal tags, labels, all kind of different things that you can do that you can kind of speed up your workflow for coming up with a set. So we're just going to talk about how we can design more beautiful items and then also cut down on our design time while still creating some coordinated packages that we can sell. So let's pop right in. We're going to go into the Fast AI Designer because that's where all of my personal designs are. And I'm just going to scroll through some of these beautiful items. And then I'm going to I've got two playbooks up at the top that I'm going to be kind of working with. And just want to kind of show you some of what I've been playing with. Okay. So basically, I kind of started with looking at this here, centered faded writing space with light lines and decorative top left corner. Okay, I'm going to copy that because that may be something that we want to incorporate. So I have a little note-taking sticky note thing here, and I'm going to take it and put it over here, and we're going to keep it over here so that I can go back and forth with some of these items I may want to use. So, okay, so basically I went in, and this is also another one, another little phrase that I want to grab. All of these came from the playbook. And all right, so now we're going to go back up, and I started out playing inside the grunge scrapbook inside the AI Illustrator sections. And this says tags, and I wanted to just do a quick thing on sometimes when you are creating, you may not, especially this one is very complicated. And I'm going to backtrack and tell you how I got it there. But you're going to notice if you go back and read it, you're going to, oh, but this isn't a set of 4 tags. It's fine. If it creates the art that you're wanting, it does not matter. Just go with it, move on to the next one, and you can play around with it. But if it creates something you can use, then roll with it. A lot of times I think as creators, we bog ourselves down on things that are not that important. We can just go design more, and sometimes we spend more time just trying to force the fact and often lose our happy mistakes because sometimes those are our best products. So, anyway, just a little of my 2 cents in there. But anyway, so basically, what I'm going to do is go back up here, and we're going to try the steampunk journal just to show you the difference. Okay, we're going to do the steampunk journal, and we're also going to do this as just a basic watercolor. Okay, I'm doing these I'm not doing the shapes or anything. I'm doing them just in the squares to see. This would be the equal to like a 12 by 12 page type thing. So, okay. While that's populating, let's go back down here. Okay, so I went from let's go all the way back down to the peon, this has the hibiscus And this is what I started with. But then I decided, well, I don't really want the hibiscus. I want to go in and I want to tell it to have a different type flower group, floral embellishment. So I played with it and decided I wanted to go into one of my previously created ones. And so I went into my folders and went into, not that one, into this Mocha Mousse. And then I grabbed this prompt. Now I had to take that part out where it says isolated against a white background. So I had to do a little doctoring on it. But you can go in and like anything that says centered or anything like that, you can remove. Okay. So that's basically what I did. I went into one of the floral prompts that I like. I love kind of like the colors and everything in that. So that's what I did. Let's go back down here. From that, I was able to get these lovely combinations here. And it turned out really pretty. That's still in the grunge scrapbook. So all of these were variations. Now, one of the first things I want you to realize is that, for instance, I did this originally as a double page layout. You see that because of the aspect ratio, it is no longer showing a double page. But I did not have to go back in and actually tell it to do a different or remove the double, because when I changed the aspect ratio, it automatically kind of changed it for me. So it did away with the double. Okay. So then I was able to get the elongated, something that would be really cool for tags and stuff like that. So let me jump over to Canva and show you a really cool trick. And I'm going to use this one, which is one of those that I had just used. So this is what I'm talking about when I say that you can create and then you can do a lot of additional items, like these are tags, and you can basically take them into Canva. And when you have one of these, a frame template that you can drag stuff into, then you can create all these frames, and you can basically do that very quickly. And you're not having to, if you can get a good tag frame, then you're going to be able to save a lot of time and still produce a really pretty product. So find you some really neat frames, templates and frames that you can use, and that you can drag and drop into, whether they be smart objects or whatever, and then use the art you've already created to drag and drop into them instead of trying to recreate specific florals or whatever to go with that pack. So see, I'm going to show you by pulling this in. Let's see. Let's add a page. Okay. So I want to show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to duplicate this one and then pull it over here. And then let's just say, and I lost the little grommet up there, but that's okay because that actually probably looks better for what I was doing. And then I'm going to go over into this one here, and then I'm going to grab, let's see, these three. I'm going to copy them And I'm going to pull them in here, paste them in here, and put them like this. Now, the thing about it is, once you set up a sheet the way that you want it to be, then you can actually just save a lot of time in Canva too, because you can just drag and drop, into it. Make it a brand template, and then you can drag them in. So I'm going to do these. These are, make them smaller. Put that up there. This one there. And then you can see how quickly we can kind of do this. And then let's just say we do this one and put it across here. Okay. Maybe do 2 of those like that. Okay, so now we have this whole little set here. Now these were with a different pattern. So we're going to go back to this one. And keep in mind that when you're designing the actual sheets, that you're going to have more to choose from. So let's just say we're going to have this, but we're going to use that one. Sorry. Okay, so we have that. Then we can take this one and we can put it right here, double click, drag it down, make another one, put this like this. Oops. Okay, but what we're going to do here is now we're going to flip it this way, and now we have something different. There we go. A little bit different one. Okay, so we got 3, and then, oops. Where did I go? Let's see. There we go. And we're going to do it that way, and then we're going to flip it vertically and then flip horizontal like that. And then we have this one, and we're going to see that you can create these very quickly. I have one more over here, and then we have that whole set done. And we basically used one paper for it. Okay, so look how cute that is. Okay, so basically if we went back in and we were, let me go back down here to where these were at. I believe it was one of these, and it's this one, I think. So we were using this one. So we can regenerate this one, but this time we can do it in the right aspect ratio. And we're going to pull these up here. Do it again. So see, we've got some additional ones now that we can do. We have some papers. We can regenerate this one, and we can do it like a single page. And with this one, what we can do is, what we're working on. Take this one. And we can do this, flip it, and we can actually do it that way. And we've just created a double spread page. We can take one of these little tags. Let's just take this one. I'm going to copy it, and we could paste it. Whoops. And let's see. Did you know you could do that? Just take and offset that. Okay, so now we can go back into this and change the stroke style to where it's just barely there. We can even change the color. So if we wanted it to be very muted, then we could just do it more like that, or it's just a little tiny bit, or a gray. Just something like almost like a shadow. I mean, there's just a lot you can do. Use your imagination. Let's go down here. Let's go to that. Let's put it down like this. Let's rotate it around. We could do it kind of like this, would be really cute. Or we have it like that. And then what we could do is we could add real quickly Joy. And we could change that font to this one. Rotate it around just a bit. Drag it down here, and then very quickly we have used one of the little tags we made. We inset it in with this double page spread, and just a very clever way to do that. Okay. All right. So remember that you can, in some instances, flip them. You know, you could even let's copy this page, duplicate this page, and then I'll show you that you could even flip it vertically so that you had it coming down a little bit differently on that side. You can even change it a little bit by doing this. Now, so you are using the same image, but you are, let's drag a little bit like that. So then you've made it look just a little bit different. How cool is that? It's very cool. Okay, another thing you can do is you could do a little overlay. edge, you know, around it or whatever. It kind of depends on how much time you want to spend on the individual ones, but you want to be able to compound your images and your products. Like you've got tags now, you've got, like, you could take these and you could make a copy of them. You could have a blank one here. You could duplicate this, and then you could take your words. And in one of my other videos, I was showing you how you could take the different words and you just come up with a word bank of items. And if you don't remember how to do that, it's in the bulk tools. Let me see if I can find that for you, and I'll show you real quick, because this is a great application for it. This little bulk create here. Okay, so we can use the sheets, and I've got, let me see if this is one, Soul Fragments with Spring Garden Nature. Let's go back. Encouragement, copy of Plant and Grow. There we go. Let's just done, and let's say we want to copy this, duplicate it, and we're going to put here, 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 and you have to put a little box for it. So you would set these up. I'm not going to do one on that one. Okay, so then what you're going to do is you're going to click on this, and up here it's going to say connect data. So then you're going to go phrase 1, phrase 2, phrase 3. Now these are not going to fit, so just so you know, I'm just using this as an example. And thought I had one there, but I don't. Okay, so then what you're going to do is continue, and you're going to generate one design. What it's going to do is create a whole new one that we can view. Open it up, and it's going to be here. And we're here. So see, these they didn't fit. They don't fit. But you can work with them and get all those phrases in at one time. So this would be more for like a one-word little thing that you wanted to do there. You can also reduce the size. But all your words are already there, so you don't have to type them out, which is still a huge time saver. If you go ahead and set it up in the beginning like that, when you do your brand templates, then that's going to allow you to use this feature in Canva. So that can save a ton of time. When you're doing your junk journals, or you're doing, let's just imagine these were cupcake toppers and you wanted different sayings on your cupcake toppers. Let's try that. Let me show you. Let's just do this. Okay, so I'm just going to take frame. Let's see, frame, a circle frame. And I'm going to make a little sheet of cupcake toppers, round ones, really fast. I'm going to space even, tidy up. Okay. Then I'm going to do this. Then I'm going to duplicate the whole thing. And now we've got 6 cupcake toppers. So let's just say we're doing cupcake toppers for a baby shower, and we're going to use our we want to have a saying on it. So we want to have, let's see, let's just copy this. Copy and go back to our cupcake toppers. And we want to rotate this around. And we can just copy. If you kind of already have it set up, then you know kind of how to drag your image in as well. So we're going to grab and do this. And I'm basically showing you how to set this up very quickly and showing you how if you're not in the junk journal business, then you can still, if you're in party business, then you can still use all of this. And then let's just say you're in the party business, but you want to use the junk journal playbook because it has some really pretty visuals. Well, you can do that. Okay, so here we've got this, and we can play with it until we get the right little mixture of things. Okay, and then we can move that over. See, that's very pretty. And then we can grab it again, we can flip it over, and we could have one that just has stuff like that. We're going to put this one, we're going to flip it. And we're also going to put it up where it's like that. Grab another one, flip it horizontally so that it's kind of on that side. And like that. So you can even drag like that and get another little part of it like that. Let's put that. And then let's see, one more. And we want to drag it around so we have the florals on that side like that. Okay, and then we're in like this. Okay, so now we go back in. We go to the bulk setting here, the bulk create, and we click on the sheets, and then we can choose which one we want to do. Those are Bible verses. We don't want to do those. So, okay. So let me show you instead. We're going to cancel it, and we're going to enter data manually. So our phrase 1, phrase 2, phrase 3. So we want welcome, baby, and we want thanks for coming, and we want here comes baby. Okay, done. Okay, and then we're going to Now this one, because it's all, we set it up. Normally you would go into the sheet, and then if you set it up like that, you can use it over and over again. I don't believe that it'll allow us to do that once we've done this one, but it's okay. We're going to, these are already set up as phrase 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in and we are going to continue. We're going to actually, we're going to go back. Let's see. Create pages based on the data you entered. We're going to connect the data and choose one there. Choose. The reason it's highlighted is because it was already set up that way as a box when we brought it in. And that's 3, 3. Let's do 2, 2. Okay, so that's just going to give us an example. Continue, and now we're going to go to create one design. Then we can view it in our folder. Now keep in mind, since I had so many in there, it basically just copies that whole file. So if you just want one, you'll just be working with one. You wouldn't have all that. So welcome baby, here comes baby. Thanks for coming. So that's a way that you could do and set up for cupcakes. And go ahead and use that bulk feature. So that way you could come up with lots of different little phrases that you might want to include on your cupcake holders. And this could be just as easily done with, let's make a copy of it just while we're in here. Okay. So let me show you this one. Okay. So let's just say I wanted to do this, the baby deer. Okay. I mean, you could go back in and you could, you could always already have your phrases in there for your cupcake holders. And then what you could do is then pick out different, whatever. Let's see if I can find like the bunny. So we could do a bunny. Just mess that one up. Let me go backwards. Okay. All right. So whatever you want to put in there. Like for instance, you could do that. You'd have to make that lighter, or you'd have to make this more transparent like that. But you could use it. You could also do something like the little initial, the cupcake things. What else do I have? The little duck. Whatever you would want to do. See, something like this would even be cute. Okay, so that just shows you how you can set those up, and you can drag and drop, like I said, using the different various ones. Okay, so now let's go back to our junk journal theme, and let's look at what I did and go from there. Okay, so then I decided I wanted to change up the colors and go with basically it's the same floral kind of element, but I wanted to do this more Let's see if I can find the prompt for you. It's basically this mustard. It's a warm 1970s palette, mustard yellow, burnt orange, olive green. So I wanted that color scheme. Okay. So then what I did was I took it outside of the Illustrator and went into the Artistic Designer. And I was very happy with the results that I got for that. And I changed this one out and added a dense botanical frame around it. And I was real happy with how that looked as well. I set it to do 4 of these. It'll take it a second or two to do that. So let me just show you some of these and what I did. So with these, I used the 1152, the 4:3 aspect ratio, and then I put that it was a lined journal page in front of the dense botanical frame. Now, all of these are from my playbook. And then it still has the double page layout on here. I also added to one of the others because it shows it a little bit more 3D-ish, and I wasn't sure I wanted that look. So what I did was then I started asking it to do, you can ask it to do a flat lay. And then I added also the hummingbird. I could add other elements to it. But that's how that looked. And Artistly has been a teensy tiny bit slow today. I think they're working on it. Okay, look how pretty that is. Beautiful. Now, so this would be really cool to also turn into a tag. You could drag it into a tag frame. And so let's go ahead while all these others are populating. Oh, those are pretty. So let me tell you how you can use these that have come up. Okay. So you could use this one for, it could be a page, definitely. You could also use it to possibly do like recipe cards and stuff like that. You could kind of use it for that. And sometimes you're going to get a little odd one. Save it to use to match it up. When you're making quite a few of them, then you can kind of just match the ones that kind of match each other together. If this one looks odd person out, then put it with some of the others. Like I have some down here that one would go really pretty with. Like it would fit in with these easily. Sometimes AI gets confused when they're doing more than one. Sometimes the consistency is a little off. If you wanted to separate these, you could try pulling them in like my other video that tells you how to pull them into the the stylizer or the photo editor and pull apart the background from them and stuff like that. You could do that. So let's see. I can't remember if I downloaded that one or not. You can download this one too. Then we're going to go back over into Canva, and then we are going to let's see, I'm going to go out and I am going to, let's see, junk journal. Okay, so this is some templates that came with a course I took of Jessa Bellman's. And so you get like the junk journal course, you get all of these cool templates, and there's way more than this. I'm not showing you all of them. This is just one of the little templates, and like this alone is like 3 pages of them. So it gives you a lot of things that you can kind of go with these. Okay, so I'm going to have a link to it with my affiliate link. It was under $20 and worth every penny, and you get all of the templates. You get her instruction, and she has some really great perspectives about all of that. And so anyway, so we're going to take some of these and images, and we're going to do the drag and drop and show you, you know, how you can easily take them in. And like this one, let's see, let's raise it up a little bit, and then that's really pretty. And this one, let's do it like that. So you could also do them, you know, in there like this. And then this right here, you can still do them. Just make it a little bit bigger so that you can grab one of these little florals right here. And see how quickly that comes up? We'll do it on this one, and we'll do it like that. And that. So you just basically drag them wherever you want them. Put that part of your image in. And I mean, we typically would do this anyway. I'm just showing you how you don't have to make another image, and you can speed that process along. And how you don't have to, you know, you could, if you make less images, you can still make a huge pack, but not have to just keep creating and creating and creating. You can just drag and drop. Oops. That one did not do right. I think it was this one I was doing. And then let's just say, look how quick. I mean, or, you know, if you just want to have the floral on there like that, it's just really cool. And then these are really cool too. And this one, you could flip it. Or you can flip it this way. But you can really just, like I said, you just add along and along just the way that you want them. That you can even do them, like I said, like this, and then drag them. It just depends on what you want to do with them. And you see how quickly you could do a whole entire pack. Now, another thing that you can do to vary is to grab some of your backgrounds and do those. Like you could make a copy of this page, duplicate it, and then what you would do is, and I'm just going to try, like for instance, I'm going to use this because I can kind of get a background with it. So let's just do this and this because we wanted to do, and we have a textured background, or let's just see if I can find another one. If you wanted to just do something like this from grasses that just kind of coordinate with it, you know. Okay, flip it. You can, if you just wanted, let's just say you just wanted this little teeny piece right here, you could do that. I mean, you really can do so much that you're probably not doing with your frames and with your packages. You're making a lot of art that you don't have to, because you can get it where it coordinates with just very few pieces, and that saves you time so you can move on to another. I know that junk journaling the junk journal niche takes a lot of time. So this is a way that you can make it a lot faster, and you can create still really beautiful products. So I want to pop back into Artistly and do a little bit of work inside the playbooks just to sort of backtrack. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to my um, files, and I'm going to find a sort of a base prompt to work with, just sort of a basic background. This is some experimentation from within the playbook, or one of the playbooks, the junk journal one. So basically, I want to show you how to go from just a basic background, and then we can go from there. Let's go into my okay. Let's go in here. So these are some papers that I actually created using my playbook, but I want to show you how this was just me trying to do some antique things, experiment with shading and different things like this. So what I'm going to do is let's just pick this one. Okay, so these were all originally created with the playbook, but I'm going to show you how you can go back in, and now you can also like change the theme, and let's see, we're going to go into, these are some themes here. So we're going to choose fall harvest and just kind of play with it. So we're going to grab a theme, and then we're going to come back and grab some colors. But for now, we're going to grab the theme. Okay, so and actually what we're going to do is I'm going to grab this because it was created in version 4. It's hard to believe that and we're going to go over into the artistic designer and start there. Okay, so we're going to paste this one, and then I'm going to go back and grab the thing. Fall harvest. Okay, we're going to put it right here at the beginning of this thing. Now what we're going to do is we're going to just generate to see kind of how it affects the prompt. This is what I call building my prompts. So we're going to go in. We're going to set it also for the various aspect ratios that we want to see what it looks like. I'm going to do 3 different ones. Okay. So It added some for this fall harvest theme. It gave it kind of a more grungy look, which is really cool. That's going to do well. Let's see what it did with our different aspect ratios. Okay, we're going to go in while it's doing that, and we're going to start picking out now like our color scheme and our motives and thing visuals. So I think what we want to do is add some wildflowers. No, let's not do that. Let's see. Butterfly cutout. Let's go on down vintage. There we go. Let's see. Let's do a we're doing the fall, so let's try a botanical garden, like a fall botanical garden. So we're gonna add our own little things in there. So yeah, so we've got this, and music is not necessarily usually used for. Oh, now that one is gorgeous. See, it went ahead and added the pumpkins because we asked for the theme, and we have the pumpkins down at the bottom, and I really like that. So that's a really cool element. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into this one, and we're going to add pumpkins and then add this fall botanical garden. And then we're going to remake each one of them in the different sizes so that we. And this is a thing, you don't have to wait for these to populate. You can be working. This is just sort of a little pro tip. And we just need to do the regular sized one too. Okay. So that's really pretty. So real cute. I love that. And if you notice, it also gave us this little fall leaves kind of here. It's very cool. So we're basically building with our playbook. We're building with our little ingredients. This one's gorgeous as well. We could specify if we wanted the pumpkins to also, like some of these have the blue pumpkins in there too, but all of these would go along very well. Lovely. I love this elements. So very cool. Okay. So let's just say that we want to add a try to add like a overlay box. We can say on the left side of the page, place a white overlay rectangular vertical box with lines for writing. The box should be semi-transparent. Now this is complicated. I'm just kind of showing you how my mind works and how I try to push push the, I don't know, the boundaries of what can be done. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but even sometimes when it doesn't work, it actually, um, okay, so it didn't do exactly what I wanted it to, but this is actually a kind of cool look. Oh, look at this one. Now, this one did put the little box in and gave us some really interesting uh, imagery. So I'm still loving this set. Look at that. Now, this one did not do a box, but it would be easy enough for us to add if we wanted to, and we did get a couple of neat treatments. Now, what we're going to do is let's take, this one, I guess, and let's see what we get if we ask for multiples. I really do like this, and you can see how cool it is. Now, when you get it inside Canva, you could work with filters. You could also do some overlays over the pumpkins. They kind of stand out, but I like that with this one, but you may want it to be them to be more muted. We can also work with our colors, and we're going to do that as well. We're going to go back in here, and then we are going to look for some colors. Let's see. And I'm just kind of going through as I go rather than, I tell you what, I'm going to go into volume 2 just because it's got some really cool color combinations. And let's see what, let's do this muted earth tones and see what that effect has on it. Let's look at what we came up with. Oh, those are very pretty. It's very interesting. Definitely. Now, see, this one did it exactly. This was more kind of what I was looking for, but I really love the treatments of how all of these have turned out. Okay, so now what we're going to do, and I'm going to go back down here because I really like these like this. The long ones, like for bookmarks or whatever, they're just kind of already ready to go. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add right after this, and I may have to move it a little bit. I'm going to add these extra colors in here. And we're going to see what that does. And then I'm going to go over here, and I am going to, this is volume 2 because we've got lots of colors. Let's see. Let's try this deep burgundy, dusty rose, and ivory, just to see what it gives us. Even though it's a a fall version. Okay. Go back down here. Grab this one because this is the one we want to change. And we'll add these colors in there. And we should be getting an image soon. Oh, what if we do, let's see. We will go back in and let's change our theme now. Okay, our theme is fall harvest. Let's do Christmas. Let's do Scandinavian Christmas. And then we're going to say trees and pine cones. Pine tree branches, seed pods. No, let's see. Not seed pods, pine cones, poinsettia berries, mistletoe. Berries. Okay. Now, I didn't change the colors for that, so we're going to see how that turns out. Okay. So we added in the different colors here with the dusty burgundy. Okay. I don't like where that, exactly what that did on that one. Now, this one's pretty, very pretty. And in this one, we changed and added the muted earth tones, the sage green, terracotta, and the mustard. So that one turned out really pretty. I like that one. This one, I don't know. I'd have to try it again and see. I'm not sure about that. The deep burgundy, the dusty rose. What we can do is we can move it down here with the other coloring and try it again. Oh, this is lovely. Okay, it actually did very well, even without mentioning the colors. That is very pretty with the pine cones and branches, and I'm real pleased with that. Very pleased with that. Maybe not as many berries, but you could always go back and layer. You could do poinsettias. You could kind of set it up to do what kind of florals that you wanted to do. So overall, I really think those are awesome. And let me show you how you can start. Let's see what this would look like if we regenerate it in the different aspect ratio. Let's go to this one, and then let's do this one, and let's do this one. Okay. What I'm trying to show you here is when you're prompting, how you can actually keep the same prompt, do it in the different aspect ratios, and move along your creation a lot faster, because you can use these elements, same prompt, but rather than having to prompt it individually to do these, you just change the aspect ratio. And that way you can use them for different things. This is lovely. That one's really pretty. Now that was with me changing, if you remember. I went and changed where I put the deep burgundy and the dusty rose. Now, what I see this did is this actually gave this a little bit of not as glossy a shading, so it kind of looks like it aged the pumpkins a little bit, which I do like that a lot. So I would be tempted to go back and try these by rearranging where I put the color and see if we could get that little bit more aged look. Okay, let's just do a reveal here and see. Oh, yeah, really cute. Now, this one, I'm not sure why it did pumpkins. Oh, yes, I do. Never mind. When I went through and grabbed it to recreate, which this is still pretty, I grabbed that one rather than the pumpkin one rather than the tree one. And this one may have been the same way. Nope. This one should be right. Let's go back in here. There we go. Okay. So that does give you the different, now this would be more like your individual pages. You could even, in Canva, you could flip it so that the things were going, but all those are really pretty. I really do like them a lot. You'll probably see them in my store because I've definitely like the way those look. Okay, so let's go in and let me show you another example. So let's go back to that backgrounds, if I can get there. I do wish that Artistly, um, that they would papers. That's why I want coming up. Let's see, papers and backgrounds. Okay, so these are some other backgrounds that I have. Let's see. Here we go. So these are some others that I created at a different time. So we can see what we see. Okay, so here we are. So what do I want to work with? We did the music, so let's just do one of these. We're going to grab it, this textured background with all the peeling aspects of it. And we're going to go back up to here. Okay. And we're going to go into the artistic designer again, and we're going to grab this. Okay. All right. Now what we're going to do is go back into our junk journal one, which is right here. And we are going to look at let's do a romantic botanical theme. Now we're going to just change the aspect ratio. And then we're going to do different ones so we get a good idea of how it looks on the different ones. And then we'll start building from there. So basically, you can start with a very, very, very basic prompt, and then you can layer in. Now, keep in mind that this works with whether you're doing junk journals or you're doing anything. Oh, that's lovely. That is really lovely. I do like that. Yes, I like that. That would be a very pretty theme. But we're going to go in and we are going to, yes, that's so pretty. Very, very pretty. So what can we add? What sort of elements could we add on top of this? Let's go in and let's go into here and let's add a butterfly specimen. So we're going to regenerate. Okay, and we're going to do that one. We're going to, let's do this size. And then let's do a double page spread. Okay. Like I said, time's money, so we want to go ahead and be, there we go. Okay. See, that's very pretty. We have just the little specimen butterfly there. But when we're going ahead and kind of generating for the sizes that we need and the different angles, we're going to get a little bit different looks with each one. So that is perfect for our little kits that we're going to be doing. Okay. So I've got kind of that dark look. Okay. But I'm going to show you how we can add some color. Okay. So this one's a little bit bolder. Okay, but all of those are very pretty, and they could actually be used as the same set. Okay, so I'm going to go back to this one, and what I'm going to do is, this is a dark and moody ambiance, it says, and so I want to go back and find something that would be a little bit more colorful, maybe. So let's go for, okay, so let's go for a spring look. So let's go for spring cottage core. And instead of creating a dark and moody, we'll just put a moody ambiance. And we'll see what that is. I think you know by now that everything is experimentation. And I just want to show you how you can get started to experiment and how handy the playbooks are. When I first got started with Artistly, okay, so let's see what difference. Okay, so this did lighten it up just a tad, not a lot, but it did lighten it up a little bit. We're going to add some color in. But when I got started, I was just constantly looking things up, what to call different styles, all these different textures, and then it was just so overwhelming to try to remember all of them over and over again, all the color combinations, all the things like that. And the more that I added to my little collection of phrases and words and stuff like that, and started, was looking everything up, I was like, this is way too much work just to keep to myself. And now it is so much easier because I can just go back and pick and choose what I want to do and, kind of go from there. Now, this one is my mastering AI art. And let's just see if we can use some of these. That's warm colors. Let's go for something a little bit brighter. Let's go back. This one is, a lot of people, I haven't really done a lot with the mastering color in AI art, but color is so important. Let's try this. Soft peach, coconut white. Okay. And I mean, a lot of these things in my books, they weren't really necessarily designed to be used that way. However, now this has two different color schemes. It's got the muted sepia down here, and that's okay. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. A lot of times when you have things like this, you just keep working at it until you get the right color combination, and it's really cool. To me, I love it. So there you go. Very cool. It brought in our colors, and that's really pretty. Let's look at this long one. See what I mean about how you can change all these things. Now we're going to get really interesting. So we've got this spring cottagecore with these colors and everything. So, and I'm going to add with large peonies. And we're going to see if we can get some bigger flowers by specifying. See, when we do spring and we do botanicals and we do things like that, we're leaving it up to basically the AI to select what flowers we're going to be using, and set the tone. When we don't include color, it's going to do its own color scheme, which is fine. Sometimes we want it to do that because it gives us ideas on things, but we also want to be able to have that control as well sometimes. And oh, see, now that's pretty. Now, I didn't tell it where to put those, so we got this really bold, which would really go well with our particular, you know, color scheme and everything. But the peonies we would need to have, we want to have, where we could match it like this. Okay, so I said large, so we ended up getting this large image here, which is really pretty with the colors. And I really like this one too. I like all the ones we've come up with, but maybe I'm going to now regenerate and tell it, instead of large, just put peonies. And then we'll do, that will bring down the size just a little bit. And let's do the double page spread layout. Okay. So now if we could get the peonies a tiny bit smaller, we could still use them all together. And then I'm going to show you, once we get this down, how we can then go back in and tweak our color again. And there we go. Well, it did make them a little bit smaller. Now see, that's pretty. Okay. So I'm going to regenerate it one more time. Okay. So with a floral cascade of peonies and various other complementary flowers, ferns, and let's see, olive branches, and tiny roses. in a variety of colors, such as, and then the soft peach and all the other colors. Okay, so we're going to try this. We're going to go back. We're going to get all of our images going. Okay. Now, I also did not tell it where to put the florals. So that's another thing that you can do. You can actually prompt like what corner. Okay. So this is giving us a little bit different look. Very pretty. And it added in a little bit more detail. I like those. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this one is go in, and now I'm going to try to tell it where to put the, let's see, with a floral cascade. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Floral cascade located at the or on the left bottom corner. Isn't that so much easier to go in and do like 3 or 4 at a time and have them be the different aspect ratios? I mean, yes, you could do 4 of the same, but you can really get 4 done. Now, see, this did put it where we wanted it, over on this side on the corner. And that's pretty. So we worked with our location, and we did get a little bit more control over that. But this way, you're getting the variations of sizes and all that sort of thing. No, that's really pretty. I like that it did it on both. It's a very usable image. So anyway, these are some really cool images. And I think I've gotten across, how you can take these, how you can take them in. You can set up your frames, you can set up your sayings if you want to put sayings along with it. And you can even do that with I'll save that for another video. But anyway, you can set up and do these bulk, put in all of your sayings, and then, go back in and put different size things. I'll get into the text in another video. But anyway, you can definitely use the bulk feature in Canva to add little text elements in, like I showed you earlier in the video. But anyway, I wanted to show you how you can how using aspect ratio in junk journaling and in doing your other items as well. You could do it, and I guess I could grab real fast. I could grab a these are some old ones from some of the old versions, so we can go in and we'll grab this one. It's just a really simple prompt, and I'll go in and make him. We'll go into the artistic designer and we'll see what we come up with. Do we have watercolor on here? Nope. Watercolor. So We could do the same thing with our bunny by doing different sizes. Another thing that we can do is we can take the bunny and we could do instead of Easter accessories, we can say Christmas accessories and then put tree and wrapped gifts. Okay, so here's our bunny. And you see how you get a little bit of variation there rather than having them all be, four of such of the same kind of thing. You're getting some different looks. And then let's see what this one with Christmas. Let's do it in a couple of different sizes too. Isn't he cute? Look how cute and how quickly that worked up. Now I'm going to have to do a Christmas bunny. This one right here is my Christmas bunnies. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love him. I love him. He is so adorable. And look how quick that worked up. If you don't have my AI artist playbooks, the ones I've used today are the Junk Journal one. And then I also used the volume 2. And I also used the AI artist playbook mastering color in AI art. This is what it looks like. And then this one is, show you the cover of it. And this one is the Junk Journal one. Let's go down. So that's what those look like. Now, the Junk Journal one is not available on Etsy. It's only available on Gumroad. It's a long story, but anyway, that particular one was pulled from Etsy. All the rest of my playbooks are available on Etsy, but this particular one got booted because of a phrase I had in the title that their AI flagged. I had prompt guide, so it thought it was just a book of prompts that people could just use rather than being a textbook kind of thing. So anyway, because of that and because of me not wanting to rock the boat or risk anything with my others, I just let it go and just moved that particular playbook to Gumroad. And also Gumroad, if you want any of the playbooks and you're in the EU, located in the EU, go to Gumroad because you can buy them there when you can't buy them on Etsy. So that has to do with those safety things and the way that Gumroad does their business. They are a merchant of record, so they kind of cover and handle that for me. Okay, so on Gumroad, right now, currently, and I don't know when you're going to be watching this, but right now I do have a coupon code that you can type in to get a discount of 50% off the playbooks, and that is summer 50. So I can't guarantee that if you're watching this way after I created it that the sale will still be on, but you can always try that. So anyway, let's go back and take a look. I love the Christmas bunnies. I'm going to go ahead and probably work on these today and do these Christmas bunnies because I absolutely love them. I am pretty thrilled with the little Christmas bunnies now. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this video and that you've learned some things that'll help you do your business better and faster. And you've learned a little bit more about how you can, the aspect ratio factor can be applied to anything, whether you're using my playbooks or not. I hope that you've seen the value in the playbooks. I believe it also helps you save time because you're not having, you're only kind of looking through. And once you kind of flag and I guess bookmark certain pages inside the playbook, and you can copy and paste certain things outside of it that you use a lot. There's so many different ways that you can make it even faster for yourself. So anyway, I hope that this video has also brought you value and that all of my videos do. Thank you so much for supporting my channel and helping it grow. And I cannot tell you thank you enough. I love making the videos for you. If you have ideas on videos that you'd love for me to do, that you're having a problem with something, please leave me a comment, send me a message. However, get me the message. And I'm always looking for ideas for more videos, because I want to be making the videos you want to watch and that are going to help you. Do have a new series out floating around called Real Talk, and it is all on the business side of making digital products. I love all the making things beautiful, and all of us do. We love that creativity part, but we all kind of don't like the business part of it. But without the business part of it, then we don't make any money. So it's a very important part of it, and I'm just addressing in some relatively much shorter than my tutorial videos, but short videos on different aspects of running your digital product business. So I hope you'll check that out and subscribe to the channel. All of my links are all down in the description. If you don't have Artistly, please use my link if you don't mind. They are currently running I think it's a 10% off, but there is a code. When you click on my link up at the top, it'll give you that code, and you can type it in and save a little bit of money. If you have seen another code somewhere, you can try it. They normally do work on mine if they are still valid. So if they're not valid, they typically will not work. But if they're valid, if there's something that the company is accepting, then they usually will work with my affiliate link. So that way you save money and you help support my channel. So anyway, Jessa Bellman's Junk Journal course that I mentioned, and that comes with those templates. There's a link to that down in the bottom as well. And what else? Links to Etsy and Gumroad, so you can grab the playbooks or read more about them or whatever you want to do. I have a free Facebook group that there's a link to. You should join. There's also a link to join my Creative Dispatch newsletter. And that's once a week, and it has great ideas on creating and for selling your digital products. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you for watching. And until next time, happy creating.